7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. I got a real pretty, pretty little thing that's waiting for me. I pull up, anticipating. Welcome to another episode of the Get Geek Podcast. So
Let's
today,
go.
today we only have Atlas. Alex is busy. He's home alone with his baby, so he's doing daddy duties. That sounds kind of funny,
Ridiculous.
daddy duties. But you know what I'm saying. Now,
Bless.
um, I don't ever really have topics off of my head, but I just go off of what I would been like thinking like over the whole week or so. So the first thing that popped to my head is actually I have two things, but the first thing that popped into my head is because I already know I'm kind of weird and stuff like that, but um I got done streaming last night, and then we rated Sugar Bear, and then I kicked it in Sugar Bear stream for a little bit, and then Sugar Bear decides to raid Vanilla Ice Queen's stream afterwards, where I saw that Kenny, who's in the chat right now, was playing with Vanilla Ice Queen, and Kenny called me out and was like, "Play with us," and I was like, "For sure, I will." And then so we played together, and Vanilla Ice Queen was like, "How old are you, Gabe?" And I was like, "I'm old." She was like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "What do you mean I'm not? I just told you I'm old." And she was like, "But you sound like you're under 19." I'm like, "What do you mean I sound like I'm under 19?" I mean, I take that kind of as a compliment, but I was like, "What?"
Mm,
And
at
then
least you're
she
getting called young.
exactly right. And then she put a poll up saying like, "Do you think it's me gamers or itsMEGAberz is under 19 or over 19?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Right? She was so convinced that I was not that I was under 19. I'm basically my age is the answer to life. If you guys have ever seen what's the movie? Uh shoot, I forget the name of the movie, but it's a
17
movie.
again.
No, it's a movie and a book.
17 again.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's the movie. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The whole movie is about what is the answer to life. And at the end of it, the answer to life is a number. The number right now, the number to that
42.
movie. Oh my God. Did you look that up?
No, it's because it's in it's like in the impossible quiz, and it was like what's the answer to life, and it's just a bunch of 42s.
Yes, yes. So it is that because Vanilla Ice Cream herself, when she was asked what her age was, she said that her age is the answer to life plus one. So I was like, so I remember that too because I was there for that stream. Um, and so when she asked me how old I was like, I am the answer to life. And she was like, "No, you're not. You're under 19." I'm like, "What do you mean I'm under 19?" But yes,
We're like, no.
I will take it to I will take that as a compliment. But it's just strange. Like, do I sound like? I mean, do I sound like I'm young? I don't know.
I wouldn't say under 19, but you sound like you'd be in your 20s.
Do I though? I mean, I guess I don't know.
I mean, I've heard some 40-year-old people speak, and you don't sound like them. So, but that one is a compliment because,
Yes,
oh,
I shall take it as a compliment. For one thing, and I don't know if you, in fact, Atlas, you have to witness Vanilla Ice Queen. She is ridiculous. She does a impression. I don't. It's not. Well, yeah, it's an impression because that's not her. That's not her actual voice. But she will talk like she's Siri, and then you
ooh,
and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, is she using a voice changer?" She's not using a voice changer. That is her actual voice.
Jesus,
And like
ooh,
everyone loves her for some weird reason. I mean, when because the first time we met her was in Kyle's stream, Silver Bullet, and they needed a fourth, and they're like, and for some weird reason, someone called out Vanilla Ice Queen, and Vanilla Ice Queen said, "I would, but you guys can't will not be able to handle my voice." And but Kyle was just like, "What do you mean we can't handle your voice? Like, who cares? Just join us." And then she joined, and then everyone heard her voice, and we all went bananas. It was a time. It was amazing. It was
I love how you
crazy.
say bananas. Bananas.
Memo, you do need to hear this voice. You have to. You could actually go to her channel and maybe check some of her VODs. Although I went over there,
Hydrate, you
she doesn't
bastard!
have
Hydrate!
many VODs, which is weird. I will, Memo. I got you. Yeah, she doesn't have much VODs. She does have clips though, and a lot of her clips on there right now is from the games from last night, which is pretty cool. Um, yes, I will, sir. I will, good sir. Let me do that right now. Boom. There it is. Check her out. Go check her out.
Go check it out.
Oh my god. Oh no, you're Candy. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Let me do this. Oops. Not that. Uh
Yeah. There's some weird noises, Gabe.
That's just so you don't have to deal with the ads, Candy. You don't, no more ads. No more ads.
Not at all.
I mean, I've already did it. I've already did it once today, and then I'll do it again. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it even more in the
Do
future.
it.
It doesn't
Do
matter.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it now.
Okay, so where was I? Yeah, but I say all that. I mean, cause yeah, it was just weird, just being like, I guess I don't sound old, but what does being old sound like? I, Candy, I know I
I
didn't
don't
have
know.
to, but you know, I do it. I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know either. Like, because like nowadays, it's just so mixed of everything. Like, what does even sounding old means? It, I don't know what that means. Or I thought to me, I thought to me I sounded old, but I guess I don't, which is pretty cool. I guess I'll take it.
It is cool, yeah. Take it as a compliment.
That's right, Memo. We are the old guys now. So like, you
Don't
know,
worry, I join you in the old guy category. Just I'm an old girl.
so like in a ways, we're taking that spot. So
Yeah, claim it. Claim it. No one else can have it.
I mean, if anything, I say sounding old sounds cool.
Hmm. I'd rather sound old than sound really young, though.
Yeah.
Like, if someone said to me, "Oh, you sound like 14," oh, mate, I would never speak again.
I guess. See, I guess that's why it kind of made me feel a little weird. You know,
Mm.
it might just be that that same reaction.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but because the whole time I was when she said that I just spent like the whole time like trying to convince her that no, I am old.
Mm.
In which like in like later thinking about it later on, I was like, I probably shouldn't have even done that. I should have just been like, thank you, and moved on. you know, like
Yeah,
it, it's crazy. But she is a
everything
cool,
in life is crazy.
right. But she is a cool person though. I digged her. Her sense of humor is pretty good. She's a mother of two, married, streams, and she's going to school. And I think she teaches. I want to say. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I made up the teaching part
Mate,
at the end.
she's got a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still, I'm still tripping on like life being VR. Like when we die, do they take off the VR and ask how was it, bro? Memo, you're crazy, dude. For reals, right? Oh, she does teaches too. That's what I thought, Kenny. See, I knew I remembered that part. Yeah. So yeah, that's a lot, right? She's a mother to married, streams, goes to school, and she teaches. That's a lot. That's a lot. So if you're able to do that and still have a sense of humor like she does, I bow down. She deserves her name. She is the queen. Vanilla ice queen. And it's amazing too. I don't know if you were here earlier. Oh no, you probably weren't. But this is the effect that she has on people, right? So after we got done playing games with her, she decides to end her stream, but she rated a person named Najee Bear or Najee Bear, who was here in the stream earlier. Thank you, Najee Bear, for coming through and hanging out for as long as you could. But she decided to raid her, and as soon as we got in, it caused an effect to where Najee Bear went like she went emotional. She was so happy to see Vanilla Ice Queen and that Vanilla Ice Queen had raided her stream. She started bawling, like crying, which caused an effect on me just because I'm such an emotional guy. It made me start like tearing up too. It was just a
Aww.
wild time. It was so great. And like cuz then all of a sudden like Vanilla Ice Queen dropped like a few gifted on her, started a hype train, and they needed like one more gifted sub or bits. So I decided to drop bits and another gifted sub to get to the hype train, and it just caused a whole cause and effect. And at the end of let's just say there was just a lot of crying at that stream.
Proof that Gabe's just the cutest.
Right, Candy, dude. It was yeah, laughing, crying. I can't help it. I'm just cute. Which proves more to how weird I am. I feel like I'm the only guy who admits that I cry and I'll do it in front of you. I don't really care.
Yeah,
Cuz
I'm the same, to be honest.
you talk to any other dude and they're like, "I don't cry. I'm a man." I'm like, "What? You're not human?" Uh that's kind of like one of my first topics. I kind of wanted to put that out there, get the stories out because it was like fresh in my head. But I will give it to Alice. Alice, do you have any stories or something you want to share?
Um, I don't know really. I mean, I did
What?
another. I'll retell a funny one that recently happened to me.
Yes.
I nearly ate raw chicken.
What? Oh wait, yes, I remember. Oh my god. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
tell it.
yeah.
Tell it. Tell it.
So, right, I put this chicken breast in the oven, right?
Mhm.
And I cut it in half, so I butterflied the chicken breast. And I put it in the oven on 400 degrees Fahrenheit for like 35 to 40 minutes. So I
Mhm.
went in and I thought, oh yeah, it'd be cooked. So I put it on my plate and I went back to my room, cut through the middle of it, and it was just pink, as if like the oven
Yeah.
hadn't been on, but it had, because I pulled it out and it was like boiling, right? And I was like, surely I like shouldn't eat this, right? So I didn't. But like any normal person would have probably gone back to the oven and put it in. I was like, yeah, no, I can't be arsed with that. I'll just not eat my chicken.
No.
So I ended up binning it because I didn't
No.
know what to do.
Wait, you know what? You know what just came to my head? Okay, did you thaw out the chicken before you put it into like before you like put it all together and and throw it into the oven.
Thaw it.
Thaw it, yeah.
What's thaw it?
You
It
bring the
wasn't frozen. It
it
was
wasn't
at room temperature.
really, and it was like
Yeah.
all of it was room temperature.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because me and Ollie had gone to Costco and we got it
Hmm.
out the fridge, right? It was in like this pack of 8. So then he went back to his and put his half in the fridge, and I left my half in the car because we were off to go look at the houses and we didn't have much time to get back to mine. So I
Yeah,
had it in a tub at mine, obviously getting to bloody room temperature in the car, and
right.
then got back to mine and I tried cooking it and it was not having it.
Hmm. Something's wrong with your oven.
Do you know what? I think it's because I used to have a gas oven,
Hmm.
and then when I've come to uni, it's a fan oven. So it's because I don't really know how long to cook things for. But I thought 40 minutes would be long enough for a bit of chicken breast. You know what I mean?
A fan oven? How does that even work?
Yeah. Well, it's an electric oven. It's a fan oven.
Oh, so like there's like heat bars and then the fan blows the heat onto whatever the food's in there?
Something like that. I don't know really what it is. It's just an electric oven.
Hmm. That's weird. Like a toaster then. It's just like a gigantic toaster.
Or like a microwave, maybe. Like a
Get a
giant microwave.
get a thermometer. Internal temp should be 165 for chicken. That's true. But yeah. But even still though, I mean like regular chicken that you just like, uh 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 what do you call it, butterfly out, you you shouldn't really need a thermometer for that. You just throw it in the oven and it's usually like done in like, yeah, 40 minutes or
Yeah.
so, which
Yeah.
is wild. But I think, yeah, it's probably the oven then. An electric oven just probably just sucks for cooking anything.
Well,
So
it's like from now on, I'll be cooking chicken in a pan. I'll be frying it
yeah, yeah,
in a frying pan.
especially if it's just like, a breast or something,
Yeah.
because those are like easily
Because like
just.
we've got, well, I've bought some more chicken breast today. I say that as if I'm actually gonna eat chicken. Sometimes I just not in the mood for it. You know what I mean? But so I've got like just normal chicken breasts so that I can season them myself. But I've
Mm,
just bought some piri piri chicken breasts,
mm-hmm.
and they only cost me £3 for
Right.
4 of them. So I thought, oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's quite cheap, isn't it? So I was like, I'll get those. So I might have those with my ramen tomorrow.
yes.
So
Let's see. Memo says, nah, gotta be safe, especially chicken. I always do temp check. Beef, I don't care. Pork, temp check for sure. And then dollars, ma'am, dollars.
it's not dollars, it's pounds. It's Great British pounds. Oh my
Yes,
gosh,
Kenny,
Kendi hasn't seen
ramen.
the photo of
Yes,
my ramen that I made the
ramen.
other day. Oh, that looked like some good ramen, you know.
Ramen's always the best. I love ramen. I love ramen too.
Well, I've just bought some chopsticks, so I can't wait to have my ramen with chopsticks.
I know, and expensive ones to be added to.
Well, wait, let me. So I didn't get the ones that were £20 because I thought
Oh,
I'm not gonna get like one pair of Naruto bloody chopsticks for £20. So instead, I bought. Let me find the photo of them. It's a pack of 5.
oh, not the chopsticks. Wait, Kenny, tell me you know how to use chopsticks, especially if you love ramen. You have to know how to use chopsticks. It is the way, Kenny. It is the
Mm.
way.
Do you know
And
what?
there.
I was gonna buy sushi rice today and some
Oh, okay.
nori and some salmon, but I
Do you
thought,
wait? Do you know how to roll?
well, I roll cigs all the time.
No, not like that. I mean
Um,
sushi.
well, it can't be that much different. It's just on a bit of a
No,
bigger scale.
it is. I've tried. Okay. Um, and I've rolled SIGs too. I'm a pretty good SIG roller.
I'm a
Haven't
good cig
haven't
roller,
haven't
yes.
haven't in a long while.
Do
I've
you,
been
right,
good.
did you prefer smoking like skinny cigs or like fat Do you know what I mean by that? As in, like, you know, when you buy straights at a shop, like cigarettes,
I get
instead of like tobacco.
I get pretty good to I get pretty close to an actual cig. That's the size when I
Ew,
used to roll.
ew, no,
No,
it's
because like when
disgusting.
you roll those skinny ones, it's I don't know, it's weird.
No, I roll a skinny one. I can never roll. I've seen someone roll a fat one in front of me, and I was like, "How are you going to smoke that?" Like, I could
Right?
never.
Right, Memo? It's like smoking a toothpick. What do you
No,
mean?
no, I don't roll it that thin. I roll it like, I'd say, I'm trying to find something on my desk that would be similar.
Candy, you don't know how to use chopsticks. You gotta learn. Learn. It's easy. It's easily learned. They even have the ones where you get it to learn. Like it's built to where it tells you where
Oh
to put the
yeah,
fingers,
like a
and then
baby set.
nah,
Pretty much, it's a
no.
baby set.
I mean
But no, I
it
roll so
is, but
it's
it's good
just a
to
bit
learn.
thinner than a pencil. It's just a
Oh,
bit thinner than a pencil.
well, a pencil's about the size of a regular cig.
Yeah, so I don't roll it that skinny, but I don't roll it like the size of a cig either.
Oh.
So,
Well, wait, why were we on this? Oh yeah, but so yes, we could roll those. But I've um I've been a prep chef at a Japanese restaurant. I know how to debone a whole entire chicken. I know how to
oh,
prep chicken. I know how to prep the rice and all that good stuff. They tried to teach me how to roll the sushi. I could never get it correct. I thought I got it correct, but the chef was so mean and he kept on waving his knife at me, scared the living daylights out of me. So I cannot roll sushi correctly.
I know how to prepare squid. You know, like for calamari and stuff. Like we'd get whole squids
Hmm.
come in, and I learned how to prep it on my first day.
Wow. Wait,
Yeah,
where did you prep? What? Wait, where'd you work that you had to prep squid?
movie theater.
You had squid at a movie theater?
Yeah, we have burgers, calamari, we have salt and pepper prawns,
Oh,
fries. We had like chicken burgers.
right, Memo? Fancy
We had
much?
homemade pizzas.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
We
close.
had sweet potato chips or fries, sorry.
I mean, we have theaters kind of like that, but they don't go that fancy with the food. Like they'll have like regular burgers, chicken wings,
Well,
beer,
our
stuff like that.
theater
Exactly, Kenny.
was one that has
What kind of movie theater is this?
it has sofas in it. Like there's no like skinny chairs. Like it's literally sofas, and they have like pillows on them as well, so you can like
Mm-hmm.
lay down if you want. And the
Mm.
best thing about it was, so I worked in the kitchen, but we had what you'd call like front runners. So they'd go into the cinema. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm off to go watch uh, Bullet Train." So they'd go in the cinema. They'd tell us the seat that they're sat at and what room they're in watching the movie, what seat, and our front runners would take it to them at the start of the movie, so that they're not
Wow.
waiting around for it to be cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we've have kind of fancy theaters like that, but like the food difference is wild because yours is more
well,
fancy.
our cinema, so we have like three main cinemas here in the UK. We have Everyman, which is where I worked. We have the Odeon, and then we have View.
Mm-hmm.
So the Odeon would be like £9 a ticket,
Right.
but they'd only do your popcorn or nachos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then View would do popcorn, hot dogs, nachos. I think that was it. But that'd be like £4 a ticket. So it was really
Mm.
cheap. And then Everyman, it's like £15 a ticket, so about $20.
Right.
And then the food for like, if you got the calamari squid, it'd be like £5. So it's not that
Jeez.
expensive.
Yeah, Candy, we get only popcorn, nachos, hot dogs, and pretzels.
Can't relate.
That's so crazy. I mean, I dig it. I dig the sound of it because I mean, couches. Like, why wouldn't you want to sit on a couch to watch a movie, right? Although
Yeah.
the fancy ones here, we get these big gigantic recliners, which are pretty nice, but they always never
Yeah, we
ever
get recliners.
like we it never ever fits me though because I'm small, and they're always humongous. You know, so it feels I don't know. I feel like I'm actually in a bed when I recline it.
Our view for a £4 ticket, you get recliner seats. So
Hmm.
I was living life while I was watching the new Avatar for like 3 hours, just reclined on a seat. It was pure bliss.
Fantasizing about your blue man.
Right, Gabe, you actually don't need to let it slip, right? That is so rude.
Hey,
They are fit though.
I
They are
already
very
told her.
fit.
I already told everyone that I'm weird. Everyone knows that I'm weird. You could be weird with me. Come
Yeah, but I
on.
didn't want. No, no. I don't want to be seen as someone that fancies 10 foot tall blue people.
It's fine. I mean, there's people out there who fancy a bunny lady. You know, in when did that movie come out? In the 90s, I want to say it was.
Oh, you on about Jessica Rabbit?
Yes, Jessica Rabbit.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah.
Exactly, Kenny. That's why we're all here together. We are all weird. See,
Yeah, no
see
one's allowed in the
Atlas.
group if they're normal.
Exactly. No one's
we can't,
allowed
we
here if
can't
they're
have
normal.
anyone letting our secrets
Yeah.
slip.
No one's allowed here if they're normal.
Jeez.
Weird people only here. Let's go. See,
All of
I
my
knew there's a reason
secrets are
why I
getting
love you,
spilled in
Kendi.
here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Jesus.
Um
Weird people only.
hashtag weird
Yes.
people only. There we go. Yes, I love it. Let's go.
It's the only way to live life.
And then I wanted to here's another subject that I wanted to bring up, and I was kind of hoping that Alex would be here because he like we I kind of talked it over with him, but I just want to let it out right now anyways, and I'll probably go over it again next weekend when he is around. But one of the one of my main goals, and I know it's kind of cheating in ways, but not really. But one of my goals is to. I always wanted to do at least one run of a comic book, and so I planned on like kind of doing it myself. And I have this kind of storyline in my head, which is kind of like a little bit of a hybrid um, of Bleach, but with like um what's the other one? Demon Slayer. It's like a Demon Slayer
Hmm.
slash Bleach like kind of like
Oh.
mixture.
Oh.
But I don't have the full storyline out. So as I'm scrolling through TikTok, there's like all these TikToks about the AIs. One of them which really like I'm gravitating towards, which is Chat GBT. Basically, you kind of type in the premises of what you want, and the AI will write out a complete storyline for you. Not
Oh.
Kenny says not the TikToks. It usually is always the TikToks, Kenny. I'm sorry, but
Honestly, they teach you so much as well to TikTok, you know.
yeah,
The amount of things that I'm like, oh yeah, have you seen this?
but they also trick you a lot too because they've given me like stuff for Fortnite that did not work. And I was like, oh, they got me again. TikTok's got me again.
Imagine falling for it.
I'm always falling for it. But so ChatGPT will write out the whole story for me. So I'm just gonna have to like write in the premises. It'll write out the whole story because that's all I really need is the story written, and I will do the artwork for it. Thus giving me
Hmm.
my and I'm gonna take it further than just a comic book. I'm gonna probably try to do a graphic novel, kind of like Walking Dead style. But but kind of more anime-ish. So kind of more manga, but not in the direction of manga. Because it'll be regular, because manga goes backwards.
Yeah.
But the style will be a crossover of American art and manga style. At least that's the way I'm envisioning it. Um, but I'm kind of excited to kind of put it out there and put it up as one of my goals because I kind of really want to do it in my lifetime, and I want to do it before I get too old because then it'd be kind of hard, like your hand starts
Yeah.
getting more cramped when you draw things and all that good stuff, and it's just like yeah, and then time just gets more busier and time goes by faster too, which is crazy. I don't understand it, but it is true. As soon as you start getting older, time just goes by like that in a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
So I need to hurry up and do it, and that's why I think I don't mind cheating a little bit with AI because it just helps me get there quicker. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I get you. I completely agree.
Yes.
Like I feel like time's just going so like slow sometimes, but then it goes so quick at others. So
I don't have those slow time moments anymore, which I kind of miss. And it's crazy because at those times when things are slow, you kind of like hate it. But now that I'm in this part of my life where things are just boom done, I'm like I kind of wish I kind of wish I had those slow moments again and just kind of sit in the pocket for a little bit more, you know?
yeah, just being able to relax.
Yeah, and take it in, you know? Life, guys. Enjoy it
A
while you
life
guys are
will
living
be a
it.
dream.
Oh my gosh. Give us another story, Alice. Come on. We got some time to kill.
Like what though?
I don't know. Make something up.
Make something
Oh
up.
wait, no. Okay. Do you guys want to hear the premises kind of my graphic novel that I want to do? And then tell me what you think.
Yes.
And maybe I'll change it or I probably won't. I don't know. So
Tell us.
the it's about a brother and his sister. The brother is kind of
Ooh,
like a MMA fighter or something like that, right?
okay.
I haven't really like molded over yet to make sure, but I'm probably just gonna go in the route of an MMA fighter. But like he's a training MMA fighter. He's not there yet, but he's training for it. One day after training, he leaves. He blacks out. He wakes up. The world that he knows looks a little bit different. He doesn't know why, but it looks different. And as he's walking around, he noticed like weird lights and like weird sounds, and then he hears a loud, crazy, like kind of almost like monstrous fighting sound, and he kind of like, what the heck is that? And he follows it, where he comes upon a tiny little a spirit-looking girl, but she's fighting this gigantic demon thing that's in front of her, and he thinks that she's in trouble, so he runs and tries to go help her, but ends up she's not the one in trouble, and she tells him like, "What are you doing? Why you like interrupting this? I got this handle," and she takes care of the big monster, and after it's all done, she explains to him that you're not alive. This is the spirit world that you're in right now. Thus the bleach part,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
And then she's
It's
like,
also like mixing Spirited Away with it in a bit of
exactly.
a sense. Yes.
And she's trying to explain to him like, I may look young, but I'm like almost 1,000 years old. So what are you doing interrupting me in my fights with the demons? And he was like,
Like,
what
who
do
do you
you?
think you are?
Yeah. And he's like, "What do you mean this is a spirit world? I'm not alive. I was just alive a second ago." And so she takes him, shows him his body, like, "Look, there's your body. You're dead. You're dead, dude."
Leave us. Go away.
And that's kind of like the beginning part, but the main story thing is because he's dead, he has a sister. His parents has been dead already, so like it was just him taking care of his sister. His sister is really really young, so because he dies, she gets put into like foster care and stuff like that. And but he doesn't want to leave her alone, So basically, he's trying to take care of his little sister, but from the spirit world. And the thing is, you know how there's like bad people in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What we find out is those bad people are kind of demons controlling humans,
Mhm.
and so he's trying to protect his little sister from like bad people, which are demons. And
Ooh.
there's just like crazy things that goes on because there's a certain part like in the story where to protect her he has to take control of his little sister's body and fight off a person who's possessed by a demon, thus kind of putting his little sister in a predicament because she just destroyed a human. and and
Yes.
and then and then
I'm following.
I need to figure out the ending.
Do you know what
but
would be cool?
but that's
If
the
he kind of like
premises. That's the premises.
not
Yes.
like straight away introduce the fact that he was dead, but like have it at some point where like he feels like he's able to be interacting with her. So
Mm.
she's like being able to communicate with him. Not communicate, but like he's still able to help her and stuff like that. But then you don't find out until later on that he's actually
Mm.
deaded.
Oh, but that's kind of hard. Well, I mean, I like it, but it's kind of hard because I wanted to introduce the little demon slayer girl as kind of his trainer because she's gonna train him.
Ah,
She's gonna train him to be able to do what he needs to do in the
I
spirit world.
follow.
Yeah.
I follow.
So we kind of have to figure out that he is dead, and then I don't know. I need to like flesh out the whole story basically, but that's kind of like what I have in mind because and then the whole thing is like brother and sister is Demon Slayer, and then spirit world and training is Bleach. Thus, spirit Bleach and Demon Slayer married together.
Yes, I
But
get you.
it sounds very cool, and I want to and I feel like the artwork can be crazy because you're doing spirit fights and demons. Like demons are kind of fun to draw, especially like Japanese style looking demons and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's fun. Oh, which I forgot to say, your freaking dragon drawing was freaking amazing, dude. Did
Do
you
you
do that?
think?
Did you do that free-handed or did you do reference?
Well, I looked at like references, so I looked at like several, and
Mm-hmm.
then I found like the what's usually like put across
Yeah.
on them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I found one that was set up similar to how I liked it, and then I referenced from that.
Nice. Yeah, because you're like, oh, I think something's missing from the head, but when I saw it, I was like, it looks fine.
Well, I feel like I should have made the head bigger, as in like made the main focal point on the face, and then added like scales and points and stuff to the face.
I mean, but those could have been just added ladies, added later. Um, because I mean, the outline itself looks nice. I mean, it looks almost like a flash for a tattoo parlor, almost. If you know what a flash is.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, it looks like a flash drawing for a tattoo shop, which is, I mean, tattoo artists is like freaking go crazy with dragons. So like
Hmm.
it looked at caliber, so it's pretty good, you know. And then like if you wanted to detail it, you could just always detail it, you know, with scales and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it was nice. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, did you ever think about being an artist? I mean, it's a tough gig, but you know.
Mm, I did eventually, and I went through a phase where I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but I feel like a lot of the time with tattoo is that you can't make it very your style. Like a lot of people want people that
Hmm.
stick to the generic
Yeah.
parts of it.
Yes. Well, here's the yeah. I know the world too well. You are correct. If you want, and the thing is if you do want to make your own style, you take the brunt of the entire community like hating on you for it,
Yeah.
which is weird, because you're supposed to be there's it's supposed to be a culture of rebels, but yet you get hated on for being a rebel in the rebel community.
Hmm.
It's wild. I don't know. I was even asked to be an apprentice once, but I denied it because I was like, I don't think my skills are there. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm good at it, but I don't want to mess something up on someone's skin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially because I'm so scared that I might accidentally go a bit too deep or something.
I mean, that's already happened to me. I mean, because I let all my friends use me as a guinea pig. So,
Do you know what shows is really bad, right? When I was in high school, one of my mates, like I wouldn't say like I'm still friends with them. I haven't spoken to them since high school, but they had decided to tattoo me in the middle of my English lesson via stick and poke, right?
what?
So I had my
Did that stay?
no, it didn't.
Oh,
No,
I was gonna say.
but it wasn't like they used tattoo ink. They used pen ink
Mm-hmm.
and a needle,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
My teacher just sat and like looked at us, but then didn't tell us to stop, didn't say that it'd be dangerous, just like carried on with the lesson
Right.
while I was getting a stick and poke. I'm
They
kind of glad it didn't stay because
they probably didn't even know what you guys
it
were
was so
doing.
much random shit. So I had lol written on there.
Oh my gosh.
I had DT for the Dolan twins because I
Oh
was obsessed with them
no.
at the time. Yes, I know. Then I had TGF, which I still absolutely love, but they haven't posted in so long. And that's because they ended up going to court, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up making this driving video, which was like retaking, well, not like retaking our driving test, but like getting a driving instructor and taking the piss, right? So they bought this shitty car, that like hired this driving instructor that was like agreed that it was fine for them to be what they are, right?
Right.
And they started like going up hills and then like jumping back on the road and stuff, like up like little ramps on the side of the road. They were being like hazards to the road, one would say. And they ended up going to court for
Mm-hmm.
being a danger to the road. And what makes me laugh the most is imagine sitting in a courtroom having to watch this video that you've released. Like, you should watch it, it's so funny, of them just taking the absolute piss, screaming down the mics, going like
Oh my
this, right?
gosh. Oh
Imagine
my
sitting
god.
in a courtroom trying not to laugh while rewatching that. Like, I would have died. I couldn't. I'd have just been bursting out laughing all the time.
Oh my god.
So
Jeez. People, they do crazy things for for the clout.
yeah, but the thing is, they made hundreds of thousands, like if not millions, because like let me just go on YouTube and I'll type them in and I'll like so one of the videos they've released, which is
Mm-hmm.
extreme driving test with TGF, car flipped, and that was 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah. Then there was, if I just go on videos, like some of my favorite ones, um, TGF hunted overnight in the UK's most haunted house. They ended up get like blowing up a lot because
I like the haunt.
Jay,
I like
who's
the
the
haunted house
guy,
ones.
so Jay ended up cementing his head in a
Oh.
microwave,
What?
and he put a tube into his mouth as a breathing tube, but it ended up getting squished and blocked. So they had to call the fire people to come help him get out. And it went all over the news, like two dickheads on YouTube tried to pull a stunt and it failed. This is where our tax money is going to help idiots like this. It was so funny. There was trying the world's first floating tent. So they put little buoys
That
or
sounds
like whatever
fun.
you call them,
Yeah, it's
and they
fun and
went down a
harmless.
river. Yeah. I buried my friend on a beach.
Didn't Mr. Beast do
TGF
that
go
though?
through a. Well, this was over a year ago,
Oh, so they
so I
did it
don't know if he
before.
did it
Before?
recently. Probably.
Hmm.
This is my favorite one. TGF hunted overnight in the England's largest forest. So our largest forest here is also very well known for people getting lost and also murdered and like bodies getting dumped there.
Ooh, what?
And the end was so good because they'd scared each other. So like one of them had like X-ray vision goggles because they split off in two teams
Mm-hmm.
and they had to one was to escape and one was to find them. And it was so good the way they got found. Trapped in a school locker for 24 hours. Ultimate sandpaper rodeo sweeper. So that one, like when you go, I wouldn't say like a theme park, but like they've got the two, like I'm just gonna call them sticks. They spin round and you've got to like jump over them and then duck under the next one.
Yeah.
So they got one of those, they rented it and they filled the bottom with it with sandpaper.
Oh.
So that if they got swiped over, they'd scrape all the back on the sandpaper.
Oh.
That was a good one. Filling a car with baked beans.
I mean, okay.
Like they do
Harmless.
some random stuff, but it's so funny. I shouldn't have opened this $30,000 Pokemon box.
Hurts your pocket, but harmless, yes.
Yeah. Escaping a buried double-decker bus. It's like they've got enough money that like every so many videos, they just kept buying cars.
And
And like they
wrecking them.
bought a double-decker bus, they bought a car, um, built a giant chocolate slide around my house.
So yeah, like see, the harmless ones. I'm like, yes, I get it because it's it'll be funny and it's harmless. But I guess like yeah, when you endanger other people, that's when it kind of overboard, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I I feel like sometimes they go like not even just them in general. Some YouTubers go too far,
Exactly.
but like
Basically.
they were going down like side roads. It's not like they were on a main road being fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? They were going around little country roads where there was no other cars.
Mm,
So
I
like
guess. Yeah.
I guess I could understand if they like ended up putting the driving instructor in serious pain and danger, but they didn't.
Okay.
I can understand if they went down a massive hill and jumped on the road and put a hole in it. I
Yeah.
can understand like that, but they didn't.
Okay. Okay.
So,
As long as there's no one endangered, because like a lot of the stuff you described, like yeah, no one was really endangered. It's just like harmless fun, you know. But
yeah.
but then they got in trouble for that, and they were saying like they were like that's what they went to court for, right? Public endangerment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's kind of questionable, but I mean I can kind of see where the government's coming from though, you know.
Mhm.
So it could go either way.
Exactly. It could either go yeah.
But they got a good case. I mean, did what was it? Did it ever end or like
Yeah, I think it did, but I can't remember what the outcome was. They made a video on it and was like, yeah, so the reason we haven't posted in so long is because we were at court dealing with this. So,
But there was like a moment in time where a lot of YouTubers were like that though. Like, they were
yeah.
doing wild and crazy stuff and then like the law kind of caught up to them. I think a lot of them had that issue cuz they were just trying to like top each other, top each other and then like what else do you do after a while, you know?
Exactly. Like one set of YouTubers that I was never like into were is it Zach and Colby?
I'm not sure. I didn't really
Um,
follow much.
I don't even know what the names are, but I ended up coming across I'm gonna say it, and if he's still in chat, he's not gonna like it. I came across this TikTok video, right, which was one of their videos, and they were searching. They were going into this abandoned house, but just before they got into it, they were hearing screams from this girl, right?
Hmm.
And one of them was like, "No, we've got to go back and help her. Like it's not a joke."
Right.
And like they even said where they were. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're at Plymouth Park, let's say." Going into this abandoned building in the video. Then they uploaded it, like when they got back home the next morning. Then a press release came out saying that a woman had died. She'd been murdered in that house that
What?
they heard the screams from. So, like, if they'd have gone back, either they would have died as well, or they could have helped her. But they were like, at that point, we wouldn't have known.
Oh my God. Oh my days.
So,
That's crazy.
mm,
I don't even know what to say about that.
like,
'Cause that's just a tough
I just
choice.
wouldn't have known what to do. Also, you asked me to tell you when I found out they caught the guy from the Idaho case.
You know what? I was in someone's stream and they were talking about that. Yeah.
Um, but it came out that so there was two girls left in the house that claimed they didn't hear any screams, that they were still asleep, they didn't hear anything, whatever. And it came out that one of the girls had actually woke up because she'd heard some banging upstairs,
Hmm.
like a door opening and a door slamming. She opened the door, couldn't see anyone because the killer had like just gone past the door
Yeah.
and he was just off down the stairs, so she couldn't see him. So she just thought, oh yeah, she's up there playing with the dog.
Oh.
And then she heard it again. She opened the door and she saw the killer going down the stairs. But everyone was like, realistically, if you were in that situation, you would have hid as well. If you know
Hmm.
for a fact, especially if you've heard like two people upstairs screaming and then it's just stopped, you know for a fact, like whoever this person is, they've killed at least two people. You're not going to get out of it alive. So it was like, what would you do? Would you try and fight the killer or would you have hidden as well? And I was like, realistically, you'd have hidden.
Hmm. Yeah. But
So
did she even know though? Because you said that she thought it was something else, right?
at the time, she didn't know
Yeah.
until the morning she woke up. And what had come out on the press release. So I don't know if this bit's fully definite, but I'm assuming that she'd gone upstairs or she'd saw like a blood trail through the hallway
Hmm.
because a phone call was then made to the police about two girls from that house, which are the two survivors, passed out outside the front door. So it could have been that they've seen this blood trail, they've felt so sick that they've fainted outside.
Oh, okay.
And that's why neither of them made a police call because they fainted.
Fainted. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Because you can't really call the police if you'd knocked out.
yeah.
So,
It's all getting pieced together.
mm,
But you know, there's like rumors out there saying like the guy that they supposedly caught it might not be the guy or something like that. But I don't know. I didn't get too deep into it.
well, it's like the guy that they caught was actually found on one of the security videos pulling up into the house.
Hmm.
Like the car matched the guy. Um, and the guy, so they went and ate at this food truck before they went home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The guy was
That's
seen
the
on
yeah
the
that
video at the
yeah
back of the food truck.
yeah that's the viral video that's been out. That's the one I
Yeah,
saw.
so they were all eating around this food truck, and then the guy that supposedly killed them is seen in the background,
Hmm.
like just hovering. He's not buying anything, he's not talking to anyone, he's got his hood up, um, but it's the same guy. So I was so engrossed in that case, and like as happy as I am that it's been solved, I don't have anything to focus on anymore in regards of like such interest, because it blew up on TikTok so much
There you go. We need to find
that like,
Atlas another interesting story to get into.
yeah, like even so like it's because I'm like really obsessed with doing like they're not real, but you know, like when you get like a murder case game and you've got to figure out who's killed who. I love that.
Well, you know what you could do? Write a murder mystery story yourself. That'd be interesting.
That reminds me, the biggest betrayal I have ever felt, when my dad got arrested and he went into jail, he wrote us a story, and it was a like a murder mystery story, right? I absolutely loved it as a kid. Like,
Right.
I adored it so much that like I tried writing my own version of it. So all the characters were based on my family.
Right, right,
And
right.
there was like little secret doorways in this house. There was somebody that was able to go through these doorways. They knew exactly where they were, stuff like that. And my dad claimed that he had written it. It wasn't until like 2 years
Oh,
later
no, don't
that
say
I
it ain't
searched,
so.
like I searched the story as in like to try and find like something similar. He fucking copied the story.
Oh,
He just
no.
changed the characters. I had never felt so much betrayal as an 11-year-old in my entire life. I was like, as if this has just happened. I should never have Googled it.
But that's kind
But
of how
like,
that's kind of how stories are passed down. It's stories that have already been told, but just like changed up a little bit.
all he did was change the characters' names. He didn't change anything else. He just
Oh
changed the names of them. But for
no.
the life of me now, 9 years later, I can't remember any part of the story enough to like type it in to find it. But it was such a good, like, he even like made a book himself, in the sense of like he'd got a bunch of paper, he taped it together. But what I loved more about it as a kid was that he didn't just send us the whole book, he sent us like a page at a time.
Oh.
So that, or like like each page, I won't say each page was a chapter, but like it wouldn't be that my mum would just read it all in one night. It was like he sent it every so often so that we
Yeah.
still remembered what happened last time. So it's like, you know, when an episode gets released every week,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was like that, but it was fucking amazing as a kid to have this thrill of waiting for next week.
See, yeah, so I mean like the thought counts, right? Give him
Yeah.
credit for the thought. It's pretty good.
I also praise the guy because, like, I mean, going in jail and nice shit, but while he was there, he quit smoking
Good on him.
because it'd be too much for my mum to pay, you know, putting money in his funds and
Yeah.
stuff. He ended up learning sign language,
Dang.
but since has forgotten. But at the time, you know, like he learned sign language, he
Yeah,
quit
yeah, yeah.
smoking, he lost a lot of weight, he started drawing. So there's a photo in my nana and granddad's living room where he drew them both. And I
Right.
believe it actually ended up being my nana's profile picture on Facebook for a long time because it was such a good drawing. And it was
Nice.
of them like on holiday or something.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
then, like, every time he'd send us letters, there'd be a drawing on the front that'd be in the same style as the one before. So like he'd send my brother like Marvel type drawings. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there'd be a
yeah, yeah.
Spider-Man, something like that. He'd send my sister like this other drawing, and he'd send me like a bunch of Winnie the Pooh characters. And he would never put a name on it apart from the first thing that he gave us. So that from then on, like we'd look through and we'd be like, oh well, this is Winnie the Pooh, this is mine, and this is the Hulk, so this one's mine. And it was that like drew us to it.
Yeah.
But like I have two funny but bad memories from when my dad was in prison. It's like it's that funny, it's bad. You ready? So
Let's go. Let's go.
because you know how like they've got to be secure in like prisons and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the playground in there for all the kids was like it had a glass wall, so that like you know if like my dad came in. It's not like I was smuggling drugs to him. So I went in through the door, the little glass door, and my mum, like every time I went there, I'd get a Coke and a Kit Kat Chunky. Every time, without fail. Like my mum wouldn't even need to ask. And I went in, I finished playing, she'd got my Kit Kat Chunky and my Coke. So I got so excited, I ran to the table. I in fact ran straight into the glass wall and plummeted on the floor.
No.
It was so embarrassing. Everyone, like my dad was just laughing at me. And then the next time we went up with my mum's best mate, because my mum didn't drive. And my mum's best mate loves my dad and whatever. Not like that, but absolutely adores him.
Yeah, yeah.
So she'd come up with us and she ended up having to go to the hospital because I don't even know how she did it, but she shut her car door and she trapped her thumb in it.
Oh.
But none of the other fingers. So it's weird when you think, like, why have you got your thumb on the inside of the door when you're shutting it? Surely you'd do it the other way. You just push the door.
Actually, I have a friend who is missing a finger because of that, and we're like, how'd you get that finger stuck in there and not the rest of your hand?
Exactly, like it's weird to think about. And then I feel like there's so many good memories like from when I was a kid. So like, especially like as bad as it sounds, while my dad was in jail. So my mum's best mate came over to the house, and it was around Christmas time. We were just about to go to the Christmas market near my house, and she's come and put salt all over the step.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's like, everyone be careful, like it's slippy, it's all icy. So we were all really careful and we got off, right?
Yeah.
She goes down the one step, it was one step, and she fell flat on her ass.
Oh,
And it was so
no.
funny. Then we had a trampoline,
Right.
and I was just having fun on a trampoline, whatever. And because I used to take gymnastics and ballet when I was younger, I was able to like jump on the trampoline and then while I'm in midair do the splits, but then land doing the splits. Right?
Yes, yes.
And then I'd jump back up and then I'd start jumping again. One time I fucked up a jump after I'd done the splits, so I then jumped back up, gone to land, and both of my ankles had like twisted inside. So I landed and I ended up spraining all of the ligaments in my feet.
Yikes.
So I was walking to school with both of my crutches, you know, like laughing and whatever.
Yes.
Another time my dad had built us a bunk bed and there was no ladders for it though. So I had to climb on the radiator, then on the windowsill, and then jump up onto the top of the bed. As I was getting down, I missed the lip for the windowsill and I'd slipped and my hand had gone down the wood in the side of the thing. And I was literally hanging by my hand in the wood. And I ended up like not breaking, but I ended up like tearing my ligaments in my hand.
Gosh, Alice.
So that was fun. Honestly, me and my brother were so fucked up as kids. Like, we didn't have a rounders bat or a cricket bat or a baseball bat, anything like that. So we just used a plank of wood. And I was walking behind him and he thought it'd be funny to try and swing for a ball that wasn't there. So he's flung it behind him and he's whacked me in my face and chipped my tooth. And then there was times where he threw empty, I clarify, empty plastic water bottles at my face, and I'd end up with a nosebleed. One time, like you've spoke to my brother, none of these will know who my brother is, but he then he got annoyed at me and my sister. He shat outside of our bedroom door, like just on the floor, just took a shit. And then my sister ended up really annoying him, and she sleeps with her mouth open, right? I don't know if you know where this is going. So she sleeps with her mouth open. He got really annoyed because she was taking the piss out of him or something. So he then pissed in her mouth.
No, stop, Alice. No, stop.
How bad is that? So we were like, bro, this is so fucked up. So we then teamed on my brother.
I don't even know if you want to. I don't even know if you want me to put this on her. You just.
No, I say do it. I say do it, right? This, bear in mind, my brother was like 4 at the time. Not even that. Yeah, he'd have been 4.
But still, though, you're throwing him under the bus on like.
I don't care.
For the
He's not
world
going
to
to know it was me because I haven't mentioned his name. So it could just be that another family somewhere in England
True.
had
Okay, yeah.
a dad in
You know
jail.
what? You're right. You're right.
This event's
Yes.
happened. And then my sister got annoyed at me for Christmas. We'd got these like notice boards from my auntie. So mine was One Direction because I was obsessed, and my sister's was Ollie Murs. So bear in mind, I was 11, my sister was like 12. She got annoyed, so she flung them both on the floor, but all the pins had come out.
Ooh.
So me being the nice, courteous sister I am, I went and put all the pins back in them evenly, hung everything back up, put them back on the wall, but I missed one. I fucking missed one, and I stood on that pin, and I walked into my brother's room, and I just went, well, both of my brothers. I was like, is there a pin in the bottom of my foot? And they were like, yeah, there is.
Oh my god.
And I was like, can you get it out? Like, I wasn't crying or anything. I was like, can you just get it out? And then I say a while ago, literally not even a year ago, my brother got annoyed. He threw the Hoover, or the vacuum as you guys call it. He threw the Hoover, and one of the screws had come out, and it was face up, right?
Right.
And it was all because he stubbed his toe on the Hoover. So he was like, this fucking Hoover shit, and he was flinging it everywhere. So I've walked past and I went, and he was like, stop taking the mick out of me. It's not even funny. And I was like, no, I've stood on something. So I lifted my foot up and he goes, oh my God, mum, come here. And I just had this nail sticking out of my foot. And I was like, can somebody just get it out? Like, the amount of times I've done this is unreal. It's like my first time I was in primary school and I stood on a nail. The second time, and it went like through my school shoe as well, because right, my mum bought me and my sister cheap fucking school shoes. They were like flat shoes, right? There was barely any sole. There weren't even like a centimeter. They were like literally 0.2 millimeters thick.
Yeah.
She bought us these cheap shoes that were like £5, which I can't blame her because obviously she was trying to pay for us all on her own. But she'd go out and buy my brother like £50 pairs of school shoes. And every term, like, she'd buy my brother a new pair of trainers for PE. But she wouldn't buy me and my sister them. No. We got new pairs of trainers every 3.5 years, if not 4. Like, I had 2 pairs of trainers going through primary school, and my feet were hurting in them.
Jeez.
Because my sister would have to hand them down. And then in high school, me and my sister just had to share shoes because we were both size 8.
Yeah.
So, like, she'd have PE on different days. So she'd wear the trainers and then I'd wear them.
I mean, I feel you on that. I get all the. But my
brother, my brother would get brand new trainers, even though he was the same size as us. Me, my mum, my sister, and both of my brothers are all a size 8. Right? He'd get brand new trainers every 3 months. So he'd get them in September, ready for the new school year. He'd get them just before December so that he'd have them ready for the full new year. And then he'd get them in April. He'd get 3 pairs of trainers a year. And it's not even like they were broke. They were perfectly fine. But it's just because he'd complain. And then, like, my mum, bless her, when we all started going into high school and stuff, I said going in, my sister would have been year 10. I'd have been year 8 and my brother would have been... No, my sister was year 11, I was year 9 and my brother was year 7 because we're all 2 years apart.
Yeah.
Every month on payday, she'd take one of us out.
Hold it. Freaking memo just hit us up.
Woo! Give 7-7.
Let's go, Memo. Just gifted Ghosty a sub. Ghosty, why are you not sub to me, Ghosty? I thought use your Prime, bro.
No.
No,
Oh, is
it's
Ghosty
you know
Hafashima?
Ghosty is Hafashima
Ah.
because
Ah.
he's half a Shima, so he's half Japanese, half Mexican, right? I forget. Right, Ghosty, what are you doing, bro?
Ridiculous behavior.
Thank you, Memo. Thank you, Memo, for gifting Ghosty the sub. And while Atlas is just like laying out her family like laundry.
Do you know what's really upsetting? If Memo wasn't here, like I don't think Memo would have been here 5 minutes ago when I said that really bad story about my brother. He would have no clue. But like so like she'd take us out every month, right? I say
Yeah.
every, so like it'd be every 3 months because it'd be my sister, then me, then my brother, because she'd go oldest to youngest. So for me, because I was just about to go into college, she took me to like a stationery shop. She'd get me a new planner. She'd buy me whatever stationery I wanted. We'd then go into like a clothes shop and I'd get like 2 outfits for
Yeah.
college. And then we'd go out for food and then we'd go back home. And then like none of us knew what the other person did, right? So like she could have taken my brother to a lot more places and spent a lot more money. But it wasn't that. It was the fact that we each got time with my mum because she was doing like while my dad was in jail, she was doing she did Breakfast Club, then she was the lollipop lady, you know, helping kids cross the road and stuff.
Yeah.
She was then a teaching assistant in the lessons. She was then the like break time assistant, so she'd look after the kids while they're all outside.
Yeah.
She'd come back in. She was then back to being a teaching assistant, but 10 minutes before lunch, she'd go and she'd be a lunch lady as well, right? And then she'd go back to being a teaching assistant for the last 2 lessons of the day, and then she'd be the after school club.
Right.
Well, she'd do the lollipop lady after school. She then went into the after school club, which we'd have to go to as well, but we didn't have to pay for it because like everyone knew like the situation.
Yeah.
So we'd then go into the after school club because even though we lived over the road, like we literally lived outside the front of the school at the time.
Oh wow.
Obviously we're too young to be left alone in the house. So then she'd do after school club, and then after that she was the janitor. Like she'd
Wow.
clean the school and stuff. So she'd come
Wait,
home
all at the
like,
same time.
all at the same time. She'd come home at
Jesus.
like 7 o'clock at night, and we'd be back at school at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Dang. That's a lot of
So-
hats. Yeah, that's a lot of hats. Hey, big ups to Alice's mom.
Big up to my mum. And at the time, like, this is what makes me so sad. Like, I wouldn't say we treated her all like shit, because we didn't. We knew what was happening. I mean, mostly. My older sister knew that my dad was arrested, but my mum had told me and my brother that he'd just gone to visit a family member in Canada. Right? So we didn't know until like 3 months later, because even my mum couldn't bear to see my dad in jail. So she didn't even go visit him.
Oh.
So, but the thing that makes me really upset, my best friend in primary school, I'm gonna name drop her. She was called Evie, and we'd do like unnecessary work basically. So every week on a Thursday, I'd go round to her house, and we'd do like topics on Greek mythology, and that's where I really got into Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Was we'd do like topics on it. We'd make like big ass boards on all the different gods, what they're the gods of, the goddesses of, stuff like that. And we'd do all this research, and then we'd do one on ancient Egypt and stuff like that. But then when primary school was over, we all literally no one went to the same high school as me.
Oh.
And I completely stopped talking to all of them. And one of my mates from my high school ended up meeting Evie. And she was like, oh, do you know Emily? And she was like, yeah, all through primary school, I had to be friends with her because my mum said she felt bad for what she was going through.
Oh
So that was
no.
like the biggest, like, I was like, obviously I'd matured a lot since what had happened, but I was like, I'd have rather have had no friends in primary school than someone have faked everything. Because, like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even like it was all faked. Her mum would pick me up after school and we'd go back to her house. We'd do this random research for no reason. We'd then have dinner at hers, and then her mum would drop me off back at my house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, like, there was times where I stayed over and her mum would make breakfast for us, and we'd have pancakes or something like that.
Hmm.
And she had a pet hedgehog, um, called Rex. He was adorable. He did bite my dad though. My dad was not happy with that. Um, and it was literally, I can't lie, it's probably one of the main things that I actually remember from my childhood was being friends with her. So that when I found out that she was only friends with me because my dad was arrested, I was just like, right, whatever, fine, you do you. You know, I'm not gonna. It was a bit of a stab to the heart, but I was like, at this point, it's not like I still speak to her anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. If I was still like really close friends with her, and she was like, yeah, well, I'm only friends with her because
Mhm.
of this, I'd have been like, right, whatever.
Yeah. Real quick, 90 dash, thank you, and thank you for giving the lurk, bro. You're all good, brother. Yes.
Oh,
I
do you know
think,
what? I'm off to the toilet real quick,
yeah.
but carry
Well,
on what you're saying.
we about reached that hour mark. So like that's gone by quickly. I didn't even notice that I was an hour yet. But if you
We're at an
want,
hour and 15.
yeah. If you want, go use the bathroom. I'll do my closing, and then when you come back,
Okay.
we'll be back in Fortnite.
Okay, perfect. I'll be 2 minutes.
Yes. But there you go. That is the podcast hour. I'm going to say my closing for the podcast, but you guys don't leave. We're going to do at least an hour or so more of Fortnite. And if you guys want to rewatch it, I'm gonna cut this part out and put it as a VOD onto my YouTube. I also do have a YouTube, and it has a lot of the same stuff that I have on my TikTok. But follow either one, TikTok, YouTube. It doesn't really matter, or just kick it here. You know, it's all love, guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but there you go. So near future or somewhere in the future, look out for my graphic novel. I really feel like it'll end up being a really great story, and I just want to do the artwork for it. So I'm gonna have AI do the writing for me, and I'm gonna do the artwork for the story. And I'm gonna try to do it in book form. Um, and then I believe putting it on Amazon is the easiest way to do it. So like instead of publishing it, I put it onto Amazon, and Amazon does all the publishing for me, and then that way, if anybody wants to check it out, I can just put it out there, and you guys can just check. Like if you want to grab it, check it out, whatever, it will be on Amazon. But that's in the future, and that's kind of like one of my goals. I'm gonna try to get it done and get there. Um, so that's the end of the podcast. Thank you
Bye,
everyone for checking it
guys.
out. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Deuces.
Bye.